Hello everybody, and welcome to part 4 in this series for Microsoft Azure. If you recall from the first 3 videos, the first one was just some tips and some considerations when setting up your virtual machine, followed by obviously setting up a virtual machine and some of the configuration settings you need to do at the console level if you're going to make that a domain controller, namely around the static IP address. And the last video was then actually going inside the virtual server and then promoting that to be a domain controller. So that's been done. And for this one, I'm going to create another virtual machine and we're going to connect it to the domain so it's part of the network. So same process. When you go into virtual machines, you click on add. And then by clicking on add a virtual machine, we then get the step-by-step wizard in order to set this up. So a few considerations or a few things that we need to do in this particular process is, first of all, to select the same resource group. So we obviously put this in True North SM and give it a name. So we'll call this one SVR1. Again, this is going to be in the Northwest, the North Europe region. And we'll select another image. So if you recall from the first one, as I said, the defaults usually, the standard ones are 128 gig, so quite large. We don't need anything of that size, so we're just going to stay with a small disk option. So again, I will create a 2016 small disk server and then change the size of it. Again, I'll use the B2S. I'll select the name, so I'll select ports. Again, I'm just going to enable all of those. Click on next. We'll keep the premium disk. Now, one of the important things we need to ensure when we set this up is to make sure that from a virtual network, it definitely is in the same network as the domain controller, which as you can see is his. We click on next. Actually, let me just jump back there. Public IP, that's fine. Diagnostic storage account, yeah, we'll keep that there as well. True North SM1. All standard. And then finally go into the review and create. Just check the validation there. So as I said, the key things that we need is to ensure it's in the same resource group, and that in terms of the virtual network, again, it's the same one as our domain controller. And then we'll click on create and allow that server to provision. I'm going to pause this while the deployment takes place, which should be around circa 3 minutes. Okay, provisioning complete. Another server successfully been created. So I'm just going to jump back into that resource now. And all we need to do is log on to this and connect it to the domain. So again, we click on connect, download the RDP file, click on connect. And in the first instance, what we need to do is just log on as that local administrator account. and yes. Boot up. Set up the profile. So this might take a few minutes while it's setting up that profile. I will put it on pause. So the profile is being created and it's loading up the server manager. So yes, we might as well connect it, allow it to be discovered on the network as part of this test domain. And then when server manager loads, we'll be able to go into the local configuration like so. And then where we've got work group, we can click on this. Now we have the option to move it out of the work group and rename the computer or change its domain by clicking on the change button. So I'm here, I'll click on the domain. As you can see, I made an error there. I forgot to put the extension. Let's try again.